Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Poppy Britt, and welcome to the Platicando con Poppy podcast. I am so grateful for literally everyone tuning in because if you know me, then you know that I have been wanting to make a podcast for the longest time and have just let myself keep myself from doing it. Basically, I have made so many excuses as to why I can't, and here we are damn near 3 years later finally doing it, and I'm literally forcing myself to sit down and record this because I have actually had everything ready to go for about a month now and have just been too scared to actually sit down and record it. So I told myself, like, today is the day we're finally gonna fucking do it. I have everything ready to go. I got my nails back, so it's just like, okay, I'm back to being myself and we're finally gonna record and get this out there because I just can't wait anymore. Imagine if I had actually done this 3 years ago, like how far I would have actually be right now. And so that's basically what the topic of today's podcast is going to be, and it's excuses are the tools of the incompetent, because I have just made excuse after excuse as to why I can't do this. I've been telling myself, like, no one's going to listen, like, who gives a fuck, like, I don't know how to work the equipment, I don't know how to edit, I don't know how to do this, I don't have that, I don't have this, and it just gets to a point where you just gotta be tired of your own shit and finally fucking do it, because I genuinely believe that if something is calling you, if there's something that you want to do, then it's meant for you. And considering that this has been something I want to do for 3 years, and I think it's something that is meant for me, you know? And just to hold myself accountable, I literally announced this podcast before I even recorded one, because I was like, okay, this is the due date. This is the cutoff time. Like, this is something that I need to do. And after I posted it, it's like, okay, you already committed. You have to fucking do it. You have to sit down and do it. And it's been weeks of me, like, telling myself that I'm going to record. And I literally even wrote down, like, a whole thing the other day. I sat down and said I was going to record and ended up not even doing it. And it's like, all right, it's fucking time. Like I said, I announced it and so many people were so excited. Like, I just went live to get ready to do this podcast, and so many people were telling me, like, we're so excited to listen to your podcast. We're so excited to watch it. And so it's literally just me holding myself back at this point. So it's about damn time. And I was saying on my live that I just feel like it's something that I'm meant to do. A lot of the things that I am going to be talking about are things that I've gone through, or just things that are meaningful to me, lessons that I've learned, and chisme, obviously, because que no falten chisme, you know. But I am a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. And so I'm always trying to find meaning in everything that I go through and process it. And so it'll be nice, even just for myself, to sit down and reflect on the things that I've gone through and really dive deep into the lessons that I've learned and everything that it has taught me, because a lot of times I've gone through a lot of shit that I genuinely don't think I deserved, but I have found value in the lessons that it has had to teach me. Like, the shit that I've gone through, a lot of people ask me, like, what did you do? Like, what karma do you owe? Like, what did you do to, like, deserve this? And I'm like, literally nothing. But I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. And a lot of the shit that I've gone through, I've learned from. And now I look back at it and I'm like, it's made me a better person. Did I deserve it? No. Was it shitty? Yes. And so I want to talk about those things. Talk about, like, being cheated on and growing up being, like, the black sheep of the family and being first gen and all of that shit, because even though it's shit that I've gone through and that I've processed and that's normal to me at this point, a lot of times when I talk about it, especially on my lives, people are like, I needed to hear this. Like, I needed to hear this, and, like, I hadn't seen that perspective. So I feel like I have a different perspective where I have taken the time to actually process these things and find value, like I said. So yeah, we will be talking about basically everything, being cheated on, to traveling alone, to learning to be alone, to dating, to literally everything. And I also hope to have different people on this podcast that can add value and give their perspective as well. I have such amazing people in my life, anywhere from like sex workers to teachers to like yoga instructors to literally everything. So I really hope to bring those kind of people in here and also share their perspective, because that I have really amazing people in my life, and I love connecting with people and just talking to them and hearing their perspective and their stories. And that's another reason why I want to do this, is because I can't tell you the amount of times that I have had friends over or have had random strangers or people that just come up to me and like share their life with me and just like open up about different things that where I'm like, I'm grateful that people trust me and know that they can come to me, but also like I think that that has a lot to say about the type of person that I am. And like, I'm very non-judgmental, and there's so much things that like people trust me with and that they feel that they can be vulnerable. So this is going to be a very vulnerable space for me as well. And that's why I've also been so nervous to like post, is because I am going to be talking about like trauma and heartbreak and all of the things that I have gone through. And it's kind of scary, and it's scary to put yourself out there. But at the end of the day, like, you're never going to grow if you don't put yourself in places where you've never been and put yourself in uncomfortable spaces. A lot of people ask me like how I'm able to like post on social media, and like ask me like, how can I get started? Like, I want to get started on social media. I just get scared because of this and that. And at the end of the day, like, you have to remember that there's always going to be someone that has something to say, but it takes a lot for someone to put themselves out there and share their lives and their experiences. So I never take that lightly when people tell me that they want to do that, because I'm like, do it. Like, the right people will gravitate, like the right people will find you and the right people will support you. And there's always going to be someone that has something to say, but 99% of the time it's someone that doesn't even have like a profile picture. 99% of the people that hate on me or have something negative to say are people that literally don't matter in my life. And that's how I kind of evaluate it too. And it's like, obviously everyone has their opinion and they're entitled to it, but for it to actually affect me and it to matter to me, I have some criteria as to like if it really matters. And I just think about it this way: do they pay my rent? No. Are they people I respect? 99% of the time, no. Are they people I care about? No. So why does it matter? You know, the fear of being seen is very, very valid. But at the end of the day, if this is something you want to do, like if you want to do social media, if you want to do YouTube, if you want to do whatever, like you have to be willing to be seen. And obviously it's scary. Like when I first started recording, like even when you are out and about and recording yourself, it's very awkward. But at the end of the day, like those people don't matter. Like if someone's watching you, who gives a fuck, right? Like if this is something that you want to do, then you have to be willing to put yourself out there and put yourself in uncomfortable places. So here I am, finally fucking doing it. And like I said, it's something that I enjoy. So I know it's meant for me, but it's just a matter of breaking the ice and finally sitting down and doing it. So yeah, and I was talking to my friend Victoria the other day about how like both of us in different realms want to be like content creators, right? And she's like, I just need to sit down and do it. Like I need to stop making excuses. And this quote is something that like I learned the title of this podcast is something that I learned when I was pledging in my sorority, and it's excuses are the tools of the incompetent. They build bridges and monuments that lead to nowhere and nothingness, and those who specialize in them seldom accomplish anything at all. And so there's always going to be an excuse as to why you can't do something. There's always going to be a reason as to why you can't do something. And you're never going to have the perfect time. It's never going to be the perfect time. I've been, like I said, it's been a month of me telling myself like, oh, I need to do this and I need to have this and I need to do all these things. But it's like, until you sit down and actually do it, like you're never going to get anywhere. So if you're looking for a sign to do something, this is it. You're never going to have the perfect time. And I understand that even for this podcast, like I obviously wanted it to be quality content, and I'm learning along the way. I literally sat down for like a week straight and just watched all the YouTube videos and taught myself as to like what equipment I needed. I ordered the equipment, where I could record, what I needed to do to get my sound right, how I could sync the sound and the audio and do everything. The sound and the audio, bitch. It's the same thing. But like the sound and the video, and like get everything ready to go so that it could be quality. But obviously, like, it's only gonna go up from here, but I need to start somewhere. Like, I could spend my whole life saying that I want to do this, or I could just go ahead and fucking do it and build as I go and learn as I go and get the equipment and grow as I go. It's been such a long time of me wanting to do this, and we finally fucking did it. So I'm actually really, really excited to share this podcast with you guys and just make it a space where I can share everything that I've gone through, everything that I think about. I feel like I'm constantly reflecting on everything that I go through, and there's a lot of value that I have to share and hold, and I feel like I don't give myself enough credit as to like the things that I know. Like I've always had people that doubt me, or like have always had people shut down my ideas, and so it's really hard for me to give myself the credit that I deserve, but I really do genuinely believe that there's a lot of value in the things that I have to share and the things that I have gone through. So I'm really excited to actually put what I've learned out there and build community with people. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've had like these drunk conversations, or not even drunk conversations, but like conversations with people that I don't even know, that they just like open up to me and just feel so comfortable sharing their life. And I'm very grateful for that. Like, I'm very grateful that people feel comfortable sharing what they go through and like come to me for advice, and that believe that I'm someone that they can trust. And so I need to be someone that I trust, and trust in the value that I hold and the things that I know, and understand that there is value in what I have to share to the world. So here we are. I'm trying to be very intentional too. I have had people my whole life like shut down what I want to do, or tell me that I don't know enough, or am not enough basically. And I'm finally getting to a point where I feel worthy of taking up space. I was just saying that if there's men that are out there who are making podcasts literally just shaming women and just sharing all this bullshit, like, why wouldn't there be space for me where I'm actually taking the time to be intentional about what I'm sharing? That's the thing. Like, there's always gonna be someone that's gonna tell you not to do something, or to knock what you want to do, but at the end of the day, the right people will gravitate towards you. And that's something that I've had to learn throughout even the last year, especially with my TikTok. Like, so many people at the beginning would be so hateful towards me, hateful towards these long ass nails, and towards my makeup, and towards the way I dress, and towards what I say and what I do. And I just realized that those are just simply not my people. And there's this quote that I saw from Dr. Seuss when I was like 10, and it was like, those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter. And it has literally never been more applicable in my life till now, because at the end of the day, the people that love and respect me don't mind, and they are super supportive. Like, that's what unconditional love looks like. And those who mind, honestly, are probably people that don't matter in my life. And so the right people will gravitate, and you're always going to be way too much or not enough for the wrong people, but the right people will find you. And I'm very grateful that I've gotten to a point where I feel like I've found my community and the people that genuinely understand me, and where I don't have to over explain myself or over explain who I am or what I do or why I do what I do. So I'm just very grateful to be at the point where I feel comfortable and safe sharing who I am and what I do. So I'm just genuinely excited. I have been my biggest enemy for the longest time, and just get in my head about like, well, like, who cares? Like, who cares about this podcast? Who cares about what you post? Who cares about what you do? And at the end of the day, it's like, I care. And that's more than enough. Like, if it's something that brings joy to my life, then that should be more than enough. And thankfully, like, there's been so many people that have been so excited. So I'm very excited to finally have the courage to do this and to put myself out there. And I just hope that this encourages whoever is out there listening to also do the same. It's just a time to stop sleeping on yourself and time to stop sleeping on myself. I'm like literally speaking to myself, but it's literally time to just put yourself out there and start fucking somewhere, because you're going to find the people that support you. You're going to find your community, and you're going to find the people that you're more than enough for and that want to love and support you unconditionally. It's just a matter of putting yourself out there. Like, how are we expecting people to find us and to follow us and to support us if we don't put ourselves out there? How are people supposed to figure out that I'm here and that I have this value and I have these things to share if I don't put myself out there? So this is your sign to fucking start. Okay. My friend Meli también, she was when I went to Chicago, and I spent a lot of time with her when we were out there, and she was asking me too, she's like, how do you do it? Like, how did you get the courage to post? How did you get the courage to put yourself out there? And it's just a matter of just fucking doing it. You could sit there all your life and contemplate and overthink and think about, like, what is this person gonna say, or what is, like, how am I gonna look? But who gives a fuck? If it makes you happy, then just fucking post. Just fucking do it, because the right people will gravitate, the right people will support, and if they don't, then they're not your people. If you guys have watched Leo Skeppy, then that's basically like the format that I want to record and edit and like the kind of content that I will be putting out there. Like I said, I'm going to be talking about heartbreak, about being cheated on, about learning to be alone, about being the black sheep of the family, about going to college and not using your degree, because that's basically what I'm doing. I'm going to be just talking about the shit that I've gone through and like that I've learned and that have made me the person that I am. And I'm doing it because it's things that matter to me. And so yeah, it's going to be a very vulnerable space for me. So it's scary, but I feel like this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. So I'm very grateful if you guys tuned in. This is such a different space for me, and it's something that truly matters to me. So obviously that's why, like, I'm allowing myself to have these feelings of fear and processing the like negative thoughts and like emotions that I have, and those like intrusive thoughts and things that I'm telling myself. I'm allowing myself to listen to what they're saying and really process where they're coming from, because that's also valid. But at the end of the day, I can't continue to let them stop me from doing what I truly enjoy and what I truly love. And there's literally no fucking shame in wanting what you want. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it's always been very shameful to say like, oh, like I actually want to like make something out of my social media, because I've had so many people shit on me about it. But at the end of the day, like, it's something that I enjoy, and it's something that brings me happiness, and that's more than enough. If it brings me an income, or if it brings me a following or whatever else, cool. But it's bringing me happiness, and it's giving me something that I enjoy doing and allowing me to express myself and be creative, and that's more than enough for me. Really excited to share these thoughts and these lessons and everything with you guys, and I really hope that people can resonate with it. And that, even within like me getting ready for this podcast, it was a sign that I'm meant to do this, because again, so many people were telling me like, I can't wait to listen, I can't wait to watch. But also I was talking about like, excuses are the tools of the incompetent. You can make excuses all your life and wait for the perfect time, or you can just focus on what you have and not what you don't have, because I was focusing on like, I don't have this and I don't know that. Or you could focus on like, hey, I have a camera and I have a computer and I have a phone and I have the knowledge and I have all of these things that I can build on. So focus on what you have and just fucking do it. Like Nike said, just fucking do it. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. These are going to be short little episodes, usually 30 to 45 minutes max, unless I obviously have like guests. And like I said, I want to have guests in the future, but I actually want to like have at least, I'm telling myself, at least 10 episodes out before I actually get other people on here, because I want to create and have like a set like structure as to what I want this to look like, but this is me like finally fucking doing it. Obviously, even with my YouTube videos, I look back at some of those videos and I literally cringe, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I put that out. But at the end of the day, that is what helped me start building an audience and start learning how to edit and start getting my lighting and everything right. I obviously didn't have anything when I started, but I learned what I needed to do and how to do it and what equipment I needed as I went. So I know that this is going to be the same thing, and I'm going to get more comfortable because this is such a different, like, even though I'm used to being in front of the camera, this is such a different, like, setup. I have a mic, I can hear myself, I have my laptop right here. Like, it's so different, and it's so different too because the editing looks different. With my YouTube videos and stuff, like, I can cut things out, I can edit them, I can re-record them, I can do all these things, but here it's a little bit different, and that's okay. Starting, so this is me. This is my starting point. This is me showing up for myself finally and allowing myself to have that space where I can create. And like I said on my post on Instagram, like, this is me giving myself the love and the space that I give everybody else. Because if anyone else were to tell me, like, I really want to make this podcast or I really want to do this, I'm the first person to jump on and be like, yes, do it. Yes, like, post, like, yes, do this. And I never do that for myself. I never give myself that kind of grace. So it's finally time where I give myself the same grace and love that I give everybody else. But if you guys made it this far, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for holding space for me. Make sure to follow me on my Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, Spotify, literally everywhere. Everything is at Papi Brit. The podcast is called Platicando con Papi on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So make sure to listen. I'll be posting every Monday. So very excited. And yeah, thank you guys.